The old man sat alone on the park bench, his eyes closed, as the cool evening breeze played a gentle melody through the leaves above him. His breathing was slow and even, and the rustling of a newspaper was the only sound that pierced the quietude. A young woman, her cheeks flushed from a jog, paused to tie her shoelace nearby. "Excuse me," she said tentatively. "Could you tell me the time?" Without opening his eyes, the old man replied, "Time is but a river that flows to the sea of existence, my dear." Surprised, the young woman looked at her watch. "It's 7:43, she said, then hurried away, glancing over her shoulder. The old man's cryptic words lingered in her mind as she disappeared into the twilight. A few days later, Emma, the young woman from the park, found herself lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Her thoughts raced like the stars outside her window, each one a question without an answer. Her life had been a series of uninspiring routines, but lately, she'd been feeling a strange restlessness, as if the universe were whispering secrets she couldn't quite understand. Her phone buzzed with a notification, jolting her from her thoughts. It was a Facebook message from an old high school acquaintance, Rachel, who she hadn't heard from in years. Rachel had posted a link to a spiritual retreat in the mountains, promising life-altering experiences and profound revelations. Intrigued by Rachel's enthusiastic description and her own growing curiosity, Emma signed up for the retreat. As she packed her bag, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being nudged towards something greater, something just beyond the edge of her understanding. Her friends thought she was crazy, but the pull was too strong to ignore. The retreat center was nestled in a valley, surrounded by peaks that seemed to touch the sky. As Emma stepped out of her car, she took a deep breath of the crisp mountain air, feeling a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. The sound of a distant bell echoed through the stillness, calling her to the welcoming ceremony. She walked up the stone path, her heart racing with anticipation. The universe had sent her a sign, and she was ready to follow it. Inside the dimly lit meditation hall, she found Rachel, glowing with excitement. Rachel embraced her, whispering, "You're going to love it here." Together, they joined the group of seekers, all with their own stories of longing and confusion. The retreat leader, a woman named Sarah, began with a gentle smile. "Welcome," she said. "You are all here because the universe has chosen to reveal its secrets to you. Are you ready to listen?" Over the next few days, Emma's world shifted as she was introduced to meditation, yoga, and the study of ancient texts that spoke of mystical truths. Each night, her dreams grew more vivid, filled with symbols and messages that she felt sure held the key to her purpose. One evening, as she sat by the campfire, the same deep, guiding voice she'd heard in the park spoke to her, clearer than ever before. "Embrace the shadows, for they hold the light," it said. "Seek within, and you will find the answers." Emma's journey grew more intense as she faced her fears and doubts, the flames of the fire mirroring the tumult in her soul. But with each dawn, she felt a newfound strength and clarity. The other participants shared similar experiences, their eyes alight with wonder and transformation. They spoke of synchronicities and strange occurrences that had led them to this place, and Emma realized she was not alone in her quest. One morning, Sarah led them to a hidden cave in the mountains. The air was thick with the scent of incense and candles that had burned for countless years. Inside, an ancient mural depicted scenes of cosmic events and beings that defied description. "This is where we'll perform the final ceremony," Sarah announced. "Here, the veil between worlds is thin, and the whispers of the universe are loudest. The group's excitement was palpable as they sat in a circle, their eyes reflecting the flickering candlelight. Sarah guided them through a deep meditation, and Emma felt her consciousness expand beyond the confines of the cave. As she emerged from the meditative state, she found a small stone at her feet, its surface etched with the same symbol that had been haunting her dreams. Her heart racing, she picked it up. It was warm to the touch, almost alive. Rachel noticed her excitement and leaned in. "The universe gives us tools to navigate the path," she whispered. "You're on the right track." That night, Emma's dreams grew more vivid than ever. She saw herself standing at the edge of a vast cosmic library, the books whispering secrets of creation. The guiding voice spoke to her again, urging her to choose a book. As her hand hovered over the spines, she heard the words, "The wisdom you seek lies within. Trust yourself, for you are the chosen one." The final day of the retreat arrived, and as Emma prepared to leave the sanctuary of the mountains, she felt a profound sense of belonging and purpose. The signs had led her to her higher calling, and she knew she could no longer ignore them. The time had come to embrace her destiny and share the knowledge she'd been granted. With newfound resolve, Emma returned to her life, ready to face the challenges ahead. The universe had whispered, and she had listened. She knew that each step she took was a step closer to fulfilling her purpose. The synchronicities continued, leading her to new experiences and people who supported her journey. And through it all, the guiding voice remained with her, a constant reminder of the magic within. In the bustling streets of her hometown, Emma noticed a young man who looked lost, much like she once had. She approached him, holding the stone tightly in her palm. "Excuse me," she said with a knowing smile. "Could you tell me the way to the nearest bookstore?" The young man's eyes widened and he stuttered, Yes, it's just around the corner." Emma handed him the stone, etched with the cosmic symbol. "Take this," she said. "Whenever you feel lost, hold it close. The universe is speaking to you, too. You just have to learn to listen." With a nod, she turned away, leaving him standing there, the stone a silent beacon in his hand. The world had become a puzzle waiting to be solved, and Emma was ready to piece it together, one mystical experience at a time. Her journey had just begun, and she walked into the future with the wisdom of the ancients guiding her steps. The weeks that followed were a blur of self-discovery and revelation. She quit her mundane job and dedicated her time to understanding the messages that flooded her dreams and waking moments. Each night, she sat in her quiet living room, surrounded by the books she'd collected from her visits to the metaphysical shops that had seemingly materialized in her path. One evening, as she pored over an ancient tome, the air grew thick with anticipation. A sudden gust of wind ruffled the pages, and a single sheet fluttered to the floor. On it was a map, drawn in a language she hadn't seen before, but somehow she understood. It pointed to a distant place, a sacred site rumored to be the birthplace of the universe's whispers. The call to action was clear, and Emma didn't hesitate. She packed her bags and bought a ticket to the other side of the world. The excitement that bubbled within her was tinged with a hint of fear, but she knew that this was her destiny, laid out before her like the stars in the night sky. As she boarded the plane, the guiding voice spoke to her once more. "Fear not the unknown, for it is within the uncharted waters that true enlightenment is found." Her travels led her through bustling markets and silent temples, each step peeling away layers of doubt and confusion. She encountered more individuals who had been touched by the universe's whispers, their eyes sparkling with the same recognition she now carried. They shared their stories, and Emma saw the threads of destiny weaving through each one, a tapestry of interconnected lives. Finally, she arrived at the sacred site, a vast desert that stretched out like a sea of sand. The air was heavy with the whispers of ancient civilizations and the echoes of creation. As she approached the heart of the desert, the landscape grew more surreal, sculpted by the hands of the cosmos itself.